In the historical text known as the Testament of Solomon, we encounter an intriguing account where Solomon, renowned for his wisdom, deals with malevolent spirits. Narrated from Solomon's point of view, it details events during the construction of the temple in Jerusalem. Solomon observes a young worker, notably adept and the son of the head builder. Recognizing his skills, Solomon increases his pay and provisions. Yet despite these benefits, the young man grows increasingly gaunt and pallid. Concerned, Solomon inquires if he's facing any troubles. Initially hesitant, the young man eventually confides in Solomon, expressing doubt about the king's belief in his plight. He reveals that each night a mysterious force sucks his right thumb and consumes his nourishment, sapping his vitality. He suspects it to be a demonic entity. Disturbed by this revelation, Solomon retreats to his palace, pondering deeply and consulting ancient texts. He prays for divine assistance to liberate the young man from the demon's grasp. Days later, an angel visits Solomon, presenting him with a ring set with a stone engraved with an enigmatic symbol, the pentala, and a sacred, unutterable name. The angel instructs Solomon on the use of this powerful artifact. The following day, Solomon summons the young man, handing him the ring. He instructs him to confront the entity. When it appears tonight, thrust this ring at it and command it by saying, "By the authority of Solomon, I call you forth. Then hasten to me without fear, regardless of the demon's retorts." That night, as usual, the vile demon Oras attempts to prey on the young man. Remembering Solomon's directive, the young man bravely uses the ring, commanding the demon to appear before Solomon, and quickly makes his way to the safety of the king's palace. The demon yelled after the young man, "What have you done to me? Remove this ring, and I shall reward you with the earth's secret treasures. Please do not force me to face Solomon." But the young man paid no heed to the demon's words, quickly entering the palace and calling out to me, "O king, as you commanded, I have captured the spirit." He remains at the entrance, crying out and offering hidden treasures if I let him be. Rising from my throne, I approached the courtyard and confronted the entity, now a flickering flame of fire. I looked down at it and asked, "What is your name?" It responded, "Oras." With the authority vested by the ring, I compelled Oras to tell me how he could be made obedient. He revealed his place of residence, his methods of afflicting humans, and all the information I demanded. Utilizing the ring, I bound him to a new duty, to carve stones for the construction of the temple. Afterward, I handed the ring to Oras and directed him to bring Beelzebul, the supreme leader of demons, to me. Oras found Beelzebul seated on his throne and delivered my message, "Solomon demands your presence." Beelzebul sneered, questioning, "Who is this Solomon you speak of?" Unfazed, Oras pressed the ring against Beelzebul's chest and reiterated, "You are summoned by Solomon." Beelzebul erupted into a fierce flame of fury, yet reluctantly left his throne and followed Oras to appear before me. Upon his arrival, I expressed my gratitude to the Almighty for empowering me over such beings. I addressed Beelzebul sternly, and he pledged to gather all demons and submit them to my orders. I assigned him the task of slicing marble for the temple. Witnessing their leader engaged in such menial work, the other demons were filled with dread. I then called forth many principal demons, individually, to inquire about their misdeeds, the diseases they induced, their hidden knowledge, and the ways they could be restrained. After receiving their responses, I bound the demons and assigned them various tasks in the construction of the temple. The demons took on many shapes. One appeared as a beautiful woman, but with a donkey's hoof for a foot. Another was a man lacking a head, from which a fiery blaze emerged, and yet another resembled a large dog. I tied the headless man and the dog together, and at night the fire from the dog illuminated the work site. Additionally, there were dragons among them, one with 3 heads and another bearing a human face. Another demon manifested with a visage that emitted a green glow, serpent-like hair, and a body cloaked in shadow. A further one appeared as a dark-skinned man with luminous eyes, wielding a sword, claiming he was the spirit of a giant who had perished in the flood. Some demons were formless, merely voices echoing in the wind. I wielded authority over all these beings and delegated tasks to them, carrying water, crafting ropes, smelting gold and silver, and moving heavy stones. With their assistance, the construction of the temple progressed swiftly, and during this time, I, Solomon, was honored and lived in peace and prosperity. My reign was admired far and wide. Kings and princes visited, bestowing valuable gifts, elevating my kingdom's stature. One day, as I sat on my throne in the palace with Oras, the demon, by my side, an elderly laborer approached me. He fell to the ground, pleading for justice against his son who had abused him, struck him, and torn at his hair. Moved by compassion for the elder, I summoned his son. The son refuted these claims, declaring, "I have not behaved wickedly, nor have I ever harmed my father as accused." I dismissed him, but called the father to urge reconciliation. However, the old man remained adamant, demanding his son's death. As I pondered the situation, perplexed about my next decision, I noticed Ornias chuckling. I inquired about his laughter, and he responded, "Forgive me, O king, my laughter was not directed at you, but at the pitiful state of this elderly man." Ornias revealed that the old man's son was destined to succumb to illness and die within 3 days. When I inquired about the truth of this prediction, Ornias confirmed it. I then advised the old man and his son to seek reconciliation and come back to me in 3 days, offering them sustenance from my own table. They heeded my advice and departed. 3 days later, the old man returned, grieving deeply as he had indeed buried his son that day. Curious about Ornias's foreknowledge, I asked him how he came by such information. He shared that spirits have the ability to ascend into the skies and overhear the celestial decrees regarding human destinies. Sometimes when they plummet to the earth, they are mistaken for shooting stars. Around that time, I received correspondence from King Adaris of Arabia, pleading for assistance against a deadly wind that had been claiming the lives of both people and livestock each morning. In his letter, King Adaris offered tributes and peace in exchange for subduing the spirit responsible for the harmful winds. I handed the letter to my chief advisor with instructions to remind me of it in 7 days. After pondering the situation, I commanded a servant to ready a camel and an empty wineskin. The wineskin, with the tops of its 4 legs sewn shut and only the neck left open, was prepared. Handing the servant my ring, I directed him to head to Arabia, to the source of the venomous winds, and use the ring to trap the wind's demon. The servant was successful, and the harmful winds ceased, for which the people of Arabia showed their gratitude with gifts and praises. I then assigned the captured demon, named Ephus, to the task of lifting a massive stone for the temple. Ephus not only completed this task, but also summoned another formidable demon from the Red Sea to assist in transporting a colossal pillar. Concerned by their formidable power, I confined them in the atmosphere where they remain, holding up the pillar now visible as a constellation, likely identified as the Milky Way. Solomon discovered that the demon from the Red Sea had once confronted Moses in Egypt and aided Pharaoh's magicians. This demon was confined to the sea until Ephus released him. Under Solomon's rule, with the demon's assistance, the kingdom flourished. However, Solomon eventually fell in love with a Jebusite woman. She demanded that he worship her gods as a condition for their marriage. With great reluctance, Solomon began worshipping Moloch, which led to the loss of his wisdom and the dimming of his glory. He constructed temples dedicated to various false gods, tarnishing his reputation and turning his story into a cautionary tale. Solomon composed this testament as a reminder for others to reflect on their ultimate fate as well as their origins. Thank you for watching this intriguing story of King Solomon and his demonic slaves. If you found this tale engaging and want to hear more fascinating stories, please consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment or share your insights below. Your feedback means a lot to us. God bless you, and we look forward to sharing more amazing stories with you soon.